Let's go to Biden's backers here, the financial backers.
All 5 of them?
No one, yes, exactly. No one talks about this anymore. Remember, it was the, I keep forgetting, Justice Democrats. Like, we want to get money out of politics, right? Dinesh D'Souza had to breathe into his steering wheel for 4 years because he gave, I think, $5,000 to his friend's senatorial campaign in Congress that the person lost. Just go through the pack. Just do what they do now. So, they always used to complain about money in politics. Yeah. Which, I understand the argument. I understand that it's a problem. It's kind of an arms race. And I understand it's less relevant to Donald Trump than any other candidate in modern American history because he doesn't really need the money. Donald Trump is less beholden. I know people like to say, his business interest and he has golf courses. Okay, it's different than someone having a hard drive with your son smoking crack with a 15-year-old girl naked, right? So the leverage on Donald Trump, he doesn't need Bear Stearns.
No.
He doesn't need Bank of America, which is like the McDonald's of banks. The point is, if you're going to knock over a bank, don't make it Bank of America. I would say I would prefer if you didn't knock over a bank.
Right.
But if you do, Chase. So, Biden's.
Is that legal, Bill? Are we covered?
I'm like, he said to knock over a bank. And then hell or high water happened.
I didn't have a headache before this show.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no, he's got the COVID. Okay. But no one talks about it anymore. You know why? It's true. Joe Biden has out-fundraised Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That is absolutely true. By a lot. Where's the money coming from? Is it small donors? Now, look, Wall Street, when we talk about the Wall Street candidate, people always say, well, Donald Trump, he keeps measuring, he keeps saying that the stock market's doing well. What about people on Main Street? Well, really, if you look at the actual unemployment rates and the actual average wage increases for middle-income Americans, it's been better under Trump than anyone else. But their 401ks have done really well, too, because until the pandemic, the market was doing incredibly well. So people sort of take that and assume Donald Trump must be the Wall Street candidate. Actually, Wall Street banks, right? They've backed Biden 5-1.
Wow.
To Trump.
That's big.
5-1, Joe Biden to Trump. Where's the Young Turks talking about it? Where's the Justice Democrats? Where's AOC? Where's the crazy eyes, AOC?
Yeah. Where are people complaining?
By the way, I want an eye test. I don't know if she should be allowed to drive a car.
No. She's got that whole fisheye thing going where she can see more, like her peripheral vision. I mean, she's like a pug, right? She can see all directions.
She sees the world like an early 90s skateboarding video.
Yeah, exactly.
Fisheye lens.
She's like the Google Maps.
Those are the best.
She can see a kickflip 9 blocks away. Here's big tech. Let's look at the most powerful, because big banks really aren't the most powerful company. And maybe as far as money, but as far as information, obviously the money and information are sort of one and the same with these companies. Big tech, of course they back Joe Biden. 95% of contributions by employees of the top big tech companies have gone to Biden. And this is just from the direct contributions. It's hard to track because of some of the money that goes to PACs, and you can't necessarily trace all of the money. But you're willing to bet if 95% of these companies, all of the companies, give to one candidate, it's probably taking place from the top. It's probably trickle-down prickery. Just think about this for a second.
Yeah.
Could you at any point in history, I mean, maybe, I'm sure you can find one, but it's pretty rare if you were to find 3 of the most powerful governments or world governing entities or even corporations that were more powerful. Take the West Indian Trading Company.
Yeah.
Could you find a scenario where the top 3 most powerful entities in the world were on board with 95% of the same financially, spiritually, emotionally, politically? Think about that.
There's no way.
You can't get that in a focus group with Frank Luntz and sneakers.
Yeah, exactly. It's because you're shamed if you even hint that you won't. It's not that you'll give to Trump. It's that you won't give to Biden. Like, you gave to Biden, right? You gave to Biden. You gave to Biden,
If you threw up 100 quarters, do you have any idea how many times you would have to throw up 100 quarters for 95 of them to turn up heads?
At least twice.
At a certain point, it's by design. And we'll talk about that with Jorge Masvidal tomorrow, who obviously works in sports, but also the entertainment industry. It is They exclude any views that disagree with them. They wield enormous amounts of power. So we have big banks. They support Biden. Big tech supports Biden. What about, well, of course, is anyone surprised? Big Hollywood and media, they back Biden by, we don't have all the numbers, but I'm willing to bet it's a 10, 15, 20 to 1. And I don't even think they're hiding it when the debate moderators worked as Clinton communication directors. Or are married to one. Think about that. Sure. Think of what we had. We had with the first debate. Was it Stephanopoulos with the first debate?
No, Chris Wallace.
So it's Chris Wallace. That's right. Stephanopoulos was one of the town hall.
Yeah, for Biden.
That's right. So Stephanopoulos did, Chris Wallace, registered Democrat, but usually pretty fair. Stephanopoulos, registered Democrat, doing one of the town halls. He was a communications director for the Clintons.
Yeah.
Then there's Savannah Guthrie, who was married to a White House Democrat consultant.
Very angry.
Then there was Kristen Welker, who moderated the last debate, who, by the way, was caught on tape leaking questions to a Hillary Clinton proxy. I don't think they're trying to hide this fact anymore.
Yeah, where was the Joe Rogan, somebody in the middle? Where was just a Republican to come in and ask honest questions to both candidates? I don't mind if you have a leading question to Biden, but have a leading question to Biden.
Yeah.
Didn't you say in this video that we have right here that you would ban fracking? That's the kind of question that Trump got all the time from all three of those.
Yeah, you could just see the disappointment in the moderator's face. We're like, did you say you would ban fracking? No. Why would you say that, Joe?
Crap. I thought you were prepped for this.
Let's contrast this. Who backs Donald Trump? And this is, we were always confused, remember, early on in 2016, because this was before there was sort of this renaissance that's taken place with young conservatives. A lot of the Bernie bros, a lot of the people who hated our channel most because we went after Bernie very hard in the 2016 election. Now, why? Because we said, yeah, Hillary Clinton, it's going to be a coronation. She's probably going to be the nominee. Bernie Sanders is the movement candidate. Yeah. That's the ideology that we have to seek out and destroy. And people were furious. We were the only ones going after Bernie. Fox News didn't see it. AM radio didn't see it. The other talking heads didn't see it because they were just focused on the political candidate who was most likely to clinch that nomination. So we had a lot of people who were angry coming at us from the Bernie boards, right, at 4chan. And then all of a sudden, we saw that a lot of those same people were staying longer. They were coming in and they converted to Trump. Because a big part of the Bernie vote is, Bernie obviously is crazy. He's batshit crazy. He's out of his mind. So. He may be responsible for some of the COVID. I have no idea how much batshit is in Bernie Sanders' household.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But then a lot of them went to Trump because Trump became a protest vote for them.
Exactly.
Right? And so there were a lot of small, Bernie did have, to his credit, had a lot of small backers. That is how he raised his money, and I do respect that. He had a lot of small backers, regardless of IQ. Of the small backers. But those people have converted over to Trump. If you look at the coalition of Donald Trump, it's not big banks, certainly not big tech, and it's not big Hollywood or the entertainment industry. What is it? It's a coalition of blue-collar workers and small business owners. Big businesses, giant corporations, too big to fail banks, too big to fail social media companies who may be violating antitrust laws with monopolies. That'll be interesting to see. They all support Biden. But the business owner who runs maybe a $1, $2, $5, $20 million company, and I know that sounds like a lot because we've all been told to hate rich people, but someone can be running a $50 million company and that business owner can be making less than his top employee. People don't understand that, right?
Yeah.
You have to borrow money to pay inventory. When I say blue collar, I don't just mean construction workers. I don't just mean people putting together crappy cars in the GM line. I mean small business owners and farmers and people who work across this country. Those are the people who are giving money to Donald Trump. So it's an issue that has disappeared all of a sudden overnight. Big money in politics, big banks, Wall Street, Republican fat cats. Well, what about when not some of them, but all of them are backing your guy? And that's the changing of the map that I think people aren't understanding. In Michigan, a good example, the Republican in Michigan used to be Romney. Right, the Romney. That was Romney's dad was, I believe, governor of Michigan. It was Romney's father who was governor of Michigan. He was from Michigan, and then he Massachusetts, and then Utah. He said, "There's a seat."
I'm Mormon too.
It was the Romneys, it was the Snyders who've now endorsed Biden, right?
Yeah.
They were wealthier people. They tended to be people after the Industrial Revolution who were at the upper echelon, maybe owned some of these factories, maybe owned some of these big companies. A lot of pizza companies to come out of Michigan, I believe. Domino's, Little Caesars, Jets. And now that's changed. We're the people on the working lines. Those are the people, members of unions in Michigan. This is why I could never foresee Michigan going for Donald Trump in the last election. It was the union members, not their leaders, not their representatives, who still give 99% overwhelmingly to Democrats. They're workers, they're members who are supporting Donald Trump and small business owners across the state of Michigan. And then the Snyder, who used to be governor, I think he's a billionaire, worked at Dell, he's endorsing Biden. So it switched. The wealthy elite, the rich Republicans, they're almost all voting Democrat. Why? Because they know their best chance at securing what they have and making sure you can't actually have that class mobility is by having Democrats at the top. They're not affected. They're not affected by a 62% tax rate if you're in the state of California or New York. They just leave. They have creative accountants. But the small business owner, guess what? May not have that budget because even if he's running a $20 million company, he doesn't have the kind of money to travel in a private jet to whatever it is, the Cayman Islands, Panama. I have no idea. Yeah. But it is really telling when all of the ultra elite super wealthy, every single one, again, throw up 100 quarters. How many times do you have to throw it up for 95 quarters to turn up heads? 95 of the big donors back Biden. 95%.
Yeah. Well, and this is something you talk about, the money that's coming into these campaigns, but the largest contribution that the campaign is getting right now is CNN.
Yes, of
and
course.
MSNBC and ABC and all of the
and
social
Fox
media
Universal.
channels. Yeah, all of those people right now are doing everything that they can. He doesn't have to buy an ad. Why would you? If you were Joe Biden, why would you buy an ad?
Right.
Just let them continue to talk about Orange Man bad and coronavirus and everything else that they want to talk about, and not talk about the economy, and not talk about the fact that you lied about fracking or ask you a tough question, or the fact that for the first time, I think, in history, somebody check it out, we have a presidential candidate whose strategy is to stay out of the media right before an election.
Yeah.
There is no other time in history where the media would allow this person to do that and not rake them over the coals every single day for doing it.
He's given the silent treatment.
Well, that's his strategy. His whole strategy.
Every channel, every platform,
Yeah.
every reporter, every
Yeah.
moderator, they're just out there pitching Biden.
Yeah. Every single one.
day. And I don't know how you overcome that with any kind of spending, but here's the fun part. The way that Donald Trump does it is with his rallies. And they are pissed off about him holding these rallies because people wait in line for hours just to get into one of these things. And he's doing dozens of them a week. And right now, you brought up Michigan. I think that's what you're going to see in Pennsylvania. You're going to see all these blue-collar workers that go,
yeah,
man, I'm a member of this union, but I don't agree with them anymore because Biden's going to get rid of fracking.
50-50.
Just like Michigan.
It's a 50-50 shot, this election.
Yeah.
I just have a gut feeling that Donald Trump is going to surprise some people.
I
really do have that gut feeling right now. I can't tell you. I can't guarantee it. So don't get. And by the way, it doesn't change what we do. Win, lose, or draw. We're going to be here. We'll be entertaining you. We'll be holding. Really, our battle is not with the Democratic Party. It's with the media. And one other note: if Donald Trump does win this. And if he wins and it's record turnout, which seems I think it's a safe bet that it'll be record turnout.
Yeah.
If it's record turnout and Donald Trump wins, all pollsters should be fired tomorrow.
Nate Silver's just like, website shut down.
Yeah.
All done. I'm going home.
They were talking about this yesterday. They're like, yes, we got it wrong in 2016, but this year we've dug in and we've learned and we figured things out. Like, no, you haven't.
But we've gotten some local polls, right? Really? How would you, in any sports team, if it's like, hey, you know what? He does okay in the season. Like his record is 50-50. Yeah, okay. How does he do in the playoffs? Loses every single time.
Every time.
Not even close.
No, fool me once.
As a matter of fact, he scored on his own net.
Fool me twice, shut my website down.
Well,
and they have the nerve to fact check us?
Yeah.
You can't even get the polling in Michigan right.
Watch Good Morning Mug Club live every Monday through Thursday at 10:15 Eastern.